Matt Campbell on pole, Ashkanani alongside him, the two championship rivals on the second row as the lights go out and the race begins in Monza. Who's going to get the best start? Matt Campbell pulls across, so does Ammermuller, and it's a good start for Dennis Olsen, and he and Ammermuller are going absolutely side by side. Olsen's going to get pushed onto the grass, so he has to force himself back across. Campbell holds onto the lead. Ashkanani looks to the outside. Olsen and Ammermuller in third and fourth, rubbing door handles. There's a spinner in the middle. Around goes Daniele Di Amato, and everybody has to take evasive action. There's damage to one of the cars further back as well. I think that's going to be Dylan Pereira, the Luxembourg driver, who's in trouble. But Matt Campbell holds the lead, that's for sure. Ashkanani in second position was under pressure from Ammermuller, but he's managed to hold on. But crucially, in terms of the championship, Dennis Olsen in third place has got ahead of the championship leader, Michael Ammermuller. Jaap van Lagen in fifth position. Then it's Mattia Drudi running behind in sixth place. Up into seventh then has gone Philip Morin, the Swedish driver in the early stages. And Ashkanani is having to go very, very defensive as they come down towards the second Lesmo corner. And out onto the run down towards Ascari. There in the gravel is Dylan Pereira. He's out, as is Daniele Di Amato. Is that going to bring out the safety car? Yellow flags are out. Yes, safety car deployed. Safety car deployed at Monza. So Matt Campbell will back off and hold the rest of the field up. But what a frantic start that was. Mikkel Overgaard Pedersen then up into 8th place. Paul Rees, the man from Oxford, up into 9th with Ryan Cullen completing the top 10. There's Egidio Perfetti, who is running in... just looking for him on the timing screens there. 14th place for Perfetti, but there is Dylan Pereira. Now, he'd already had contact by the time he got to the first chicane, because you could see the smoke pouring from the front of his Porsche. And the Luxembourg driver, who's had 3 podiums this season, including the last race in Spa, is out. Daniele Di Amato there in the orange Dynamic Motorsport car. He was sent spinning at the first corner. So keep an eye out here on Michael Ammermuller. He sees Dennis Olsen alongside him, has got a better start, and he forces him off the circuit towards the wall. Olsen's in there, though. He sees the grass coming and has to force himself back across the track. Pretty rude stuff from Ammermuller, but he did relinquish when he saw the grass coming. Ashkanani tried to go around the outside. Now, what happens here with Di Amato? Ah, there's the contact. So it was Di Amato coming together with Dylan Pereira that spun the two of them around. Everybody else gingerly makes their way through. So keep an eye out on the green car there. He escapes, but it's the orange car behind, isn't it, of Di Amato, that is hit by Pereira. One man who lost a lot of positions in that is Dan Camish. He's dropped down to 18th position now, having started 8th on the grid. This is the view on board with Matt Campbell from the start. Goes across to cover the inside line. And had it reasonably under control, I think, the young Australian. This was the view from Dan Camish. So this is going to show you exactly how much time he lost, because he's in there with this fight. There is Dennis Olsen in the red and white car on the right being pushed off and forcing himself back. But keep an eye on this 24 car on the left. That's the car that nudges Drudi and then into the side of Di Amato, and Dan Camish is just caught out, and he's got to try and get around these two broken cars, and look how many places he loses. This is on board with Olsen. Good start. Here comes Ammermuller saying, "You're not coming through." Olsen keeps his foot in it as he's driven towards the wall by the German, and just manages to get back on the tarmac before picking up the grass. So Ammermuller's still there on the outside, but he gives him space, and, well, here's the view from Ammermuller. A lot of wheel spin. You see him moving to the inside, sees the grass coming, knows he ought to give Olsen a bit more room. Now, what is he held up by Ashkanani here? That's the question, because in this scenario, he could still be able to hold on to the position, but yeah, he has to get on the brakes to avoid Ashkanani. So Dennis Olsen is able to go around the outside at the chicane. Really impressive stuff from Dennis Olsen. There's the spin for Di Amato. Dan Camish, I think, picks up a bit of damage in here as well, because they hit again for the second time, and you can see there's a bit of front bodywork there on Camish's car that then gets torn up by the rear of Dylan Pereira. And Pereira's then in the gravel, but the race is already over.